Hello, family. Today is the first video on the channel, and we're going to be talking over a very important point in today's video. We're going to be talking about the power of gratitude and how being gratitude, being in the state of gratification, takes us in ways that, you know, we can only imagine, right? Because when we start to be grateful for what we have and what we don't have yet, it invites the energy of being, right? And when we can just be, it doesn't matter how good or how bad it is, it could always be something different. That's kind of the cool thing with how this whole stuff works, you know what I mean? Things can always change, right? But if we're constantly looking towards what can be and what already is, we are unable to get to the point of can be, right? Because our realities is a manifestation of what we're thinking. And so once we start being grateful, right, for the things we have, then it invites more things to come our direction because it's a lot more pleasant and inviting than being a sore cunt, right? No one likes a sore, bitchy complainer. It's just how it is, right? No one wants to be around that. And so once we start changing how our thoughts perceive into play, then that whole sore, sour, cunty energy is now just in the mere distance. You see, like, there's this plant currently grabbing at, and I'm grateful for this plant right here because it allows me to pick little things off of it. You see? It's all just thoughts and frequency at the end of the day. And that's why there's things that are free, right? Because if it's free, then guess who's the product? You have a guess? It's you. You and I, my friend. We are the products. If it's free. And so that's why being, cautious and being aware of what's going on, what's good, and what we're currently thinking plays a big role into how we actually live, right? Because once we start enjoying the processes of the road, the ups and downs, the twists, the turns, right? And guess what? It's the love for the process that takes you in the direction that's desired. And it's almost like you have to drop that. It's good. It's genuinely a good thing to want better for yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. I think we should never be fooled into thinking that wanting to be better or have better things is a bad thing. It's just the process of which the getting to them is what ends up getting frowned upon, right? Because we're so focused on that we simply don't look to what we already have. And by showing the universe we actually are indeed very grateful for what we already have, because it could be a lot worse. We are showing the universe. I wouldn't necessarily say worthiness, because we're all worthy. In the eyes of God, we're all worthy. I think it's more or less about just being. Alright? Because by simply being, right, we're already closer than we could ever imagine, right? Just by being. Being grateful, being whatever it may be, right? But it's that state of being, right? That state of being that takes you in a direction really that's more or less into the unknown. And I think the more we explore into that unknown, alright, that's where the growth is, man. You know, that's where it's at, family. That's where the real fruits start to become developed, right? It's in the dirt. It's in the mud. Right. In order for roses to grow. Right. It must be, generally speaking, it must be pretty rainy. Right. It has to be a bad day. You know? There has to be a bad day for a good day to come. And by having what can be, you know, one of the worst days of your life, could end up helping you into achieving those better days that we wish to see, you know? Like, be that person you wish you could have been, the younger you needed, right? And by eliminating the state of being needy, or just the energy of wanting, right? More things start graciously coming in once you detach yourself from it. It's the art of detachment, brother and sisters. You know, simple, right? By becoming more detached to the things that are wanted, it instead invites them over, and it's like, okay, now there's an array of things that you've been quote unquote wanting, right? And now they're here because you have simply detached yourself away from it, right? By detaching yourself, your energy, right? Because our energy, fellas, it's sacred. You know what I mean? You gotta protect your peace, brother. You know what I'm saying? If you're constantly sharing, right, what's sacredly yours, at the end of the day, brother, you're gonna have none of it. Who's going to help you with that? Nobody. Right? And so my message to you, brother, is that, you know, there is no one coming to save us. And that is the most freeing, that's the most freeing thing I think I've ever been told, or even told myself, or seen, or whatever, because that is completely facts. No one's coming to save us, bro. And you know, some people, they hear that news and they shrivel up and they become all tightened. Some people hear that and they rise to the occasion. You know, fear has two definitions. It has face everything and rise, or it's fear everything and run. But guess what? By the time you're done running, you're running into another dead end. And you know, once you start to grow as an individual, you can't no longer hide, you know. You have to confront what's been hiding in the dark. You know, the dark must come to light. And once that dark comes to light, brother, you'll see very quick that everything will start to change. But anyways, family, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Damn. And remember, peace and light. Deuces.